to Evening News. I'm Aminat Chiama. In tonight's top stories, President Abdullah Yamin says that the government's aim is to expand the benefits of the tourism sector enjoyed by the society and that several efforts are being made to achieve the objective. Tourism Minister Ahmed Adib says that the tourism industry reflects the true development progress of Maldivian society. And Youth Ministry says that 6 amendments have been proposed to the regulations on approving literature published in the Maldives. President Abdullah Yamin says that the government's aim is to expand the benefits of the tourism sector enjoyed by the society and that several efforts are being made to achieve the objective.
In his address to the nation on the occasion of World Tourism Day, President Abdullah Yamin said that while tourism accounts for a large share of the country's GDP, the government's aim is to further expand the benefits tourism provides to the society. Noting that the government is working to further expand and diversify the sector, President Yamin said that amendments to existing laws and regulations are also being brought as necessary. President Yamin noted that the Maldivian tourism industry has grown to world-class standards from its humble beginnings in 1972, and that many believe the Maldives demonstrates the positive effects of tourism on community development. Noting that tourism generates several jobs for the people, President Yamin called on all stakeholders of the industry to create more jobs for Maldivians in the tourism field. In his address, the President also highlighted the role of the national flag carrier Maldivian in promoting and encouraging tourist arrivals to the Maldives. He noted the importance of developing the airline further and ensuring it gains a strong foothold in the competitive aviation market. Noting that tourism is a sector of the youth, President Yamin called on the country's youth population to enter the industry with renewed strength and interest. He said that the government will work to ensure there are ample opportunities for the youth in the tourism sector. The President announced that 5 additional islands to be developed as resorts would be open for bidding this year. The President also urged every Maldivian citizen to play their part in preserving the natural beauty of the Maldives Islands, which represents the biggest capital of the country's tourism sector.
Tourism Minister Ahmed Adib says that the tourism industry reflects the true development and progress of Maldivian society. The minister made the statement in his address delivered on the occasion of World Tourism Day being marked today. Minister Adib said that the Maldives is one country that best exemplifies the theme for this year's Tourism Day, tourism and community development, as set by the World Tourism Organization. Adib said that the country's booming tourism industry is a boost to the maintenance of Maldivian culture and traditions and the productivity of Maldivian people. Noting that tourism accounts for the largest share of Maldives' GDP, Adib said that 99% of the country's foreign receipts come from its tourism sector. Highlighting that the tourism industry has been a vehicle of social progress and change in the Maldives, Adib said that one of the government's major aims is to allow small and medium-scale businesses to engage directly in the industry on a larger scale than now. Youth Ministry says that 6 amendments have been proposed to the regulations on approved literature published in the Maldives. The media official at the Youth Ministry told DhiTV that the opportunity to propose amendments to the regulations was open to the public following immense public outcry over the regulations enacted recently. According to the ministry, so far amendments have been proposed by the Information Commissioner's Office, DhiTV Language Academy and Maldives Police Service. The amendments will be proposed during the next session of the Parliament. The regulations on approved literature published in the Maldives were published in the Government Gazette on 10th September. The regulations were heavily criticized by the Information Commissioner and many scholars of the DhiTV language. The regulations prohibit publishing literary material without seeking approval or authorization from the National Bureau of Classification and prescribe a fine between 500 rupiah and 5,000 rupiah for violations. We'll take a short break and return in a few minutes. World Tourism Day. The theme for this year's Tourism Day is Tourism and Community Development.
World Tourism Day, celebrated every year on 27 September, is a global observance to highlight tourism's social, cultural, political, and economic value. It was at its third session held in Spain in 1979 that the UN World Tourism Organization's General Assembly decided to institute World Tourism Day commencing in the year 1980. This year's World Tourism Day draws special attention to the role of tourism in contributing to one of the building blocks of a more sustainable future for all, which is community development. This focus is in line with the global transition to the Sustainable Development Goals as the guiding principle promoted by the United Nations from 2015 and beyond. As a sector representing 9% of global GDP, 1 in 11 jobs worldwide, and a key revenue sector for developing and emerging economies, tourism is widely acknowledged for its capacity to respond to global challenges. The consolidation of tourism's economic influence has built up its social responsibility and political relevance, with a growing number of countries allocating a stronger mandate to tourism in economic and development policy planning. With a special focus on the community, World Tourism Day highlights how tourism can be conducive to advancing sustainable development from the grassroots level. Community-based tourism involves the local population in the decision-making process according to local priorities. The opportunity to become part of the tourism value chain actively involves host communities in the development process. Tourism thus becomes a catalyst of social cohesion, going beyond the immediate impact of job creation and its positive economic consequences, and enhances, for instance, local governance capabilities which multiply the tourism impact even further.
Press Secretary at the President's Office Ibrahim Muaz Ali has refuted opposition leader and former President Mohamed Nasheed's claims that the government has failed to tackle crime in the country. Speaking to the press before leaving to attend the annual conference of the UK's Conservative Party, Nasheed had levelled several accusations at the government regarding the recent increase in criminal activities. Muaz said that Nasheed's claims are baseless and that the opposition leader is making such statements to detract from the huge public support the government is enjoying as its developmental vision continues to become a reality. Muaz said that Nasheed's accusations hold no ground and that they reflect his inability to digest the fact that the government is making evident progress in fulfilling its pledges. Muaz accused Nasheed of attempting to take away the country's peace and stability by way of making such claims. However, he said that the government will and is working to ensure peace and stability in Malé and the atolls. Speaking to the press, Nasheed alleged that gang influence had increased due to the government's involvement in gang activities. In a recent interview with the UK's independent newspaper, Nasheed had also claimed that extremist groups linked to Islamic State IS were turning the military and the police towards them. Tourism Ministry has launched a series of events to celebrate World Tourism Day 2014 in the Maldives. The biggest event among them was conducted at Ibrahim Nasir International Airport this morning. As part of the event conducted by the Ministry and Maldives Marketing and PR Corporation, tourists were welcomed with special gifts presented to them upon arrival. In addition, a special campaign was launched by the two partners at the airport to inform tourists about the history of the Maldivian tourism industry and vital facts related to it. According to Tourism Ministry, activities to mark the occasion will also be conducted in Malé, Hur Malé and selected resorts in the country. Education Ministry says that the teacher involved in the bullying case of Imaduddin School was not guilty for the act as revealed by its 15-day investigation. The ministry made the statement in a report detailing the investigation's findings. An official at the ministry told DhiTV that the report mainly focused on certain points that parents, teachers and students need to familiarize themselves with regarding such cases. The official did not reveal any further details on the investigation. DhiTV has received information that the teacher accused of bullying an 8-year-old student was suspended while the investigation was underway and that the ministry has not allowed the teacher to go back to work. A large number of teachers, parents, and school officials were summoned to the Ministry for questioning regarding the case. That concludes tonight's evening news. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.